Hello everybody, welcome back. Um, Today we are going to try and solve quadratic equations by finding the factors of the quadratic equation or the roots using a method known as the completing the square. And you will see that this method is a tried and tested, and it will also help us in deriving a general formula, the quadratic equation formula, which we will do in the next section. But for now, we are going to look at this completing the square method, try to understand it, and use it to solve quadratic equation. This completing the square method is very useful. You can use it a lot. In advanced mathematics, and they come up over and over again. So it's important that you understand it and know how to use it. Okay, so let's get started. We said a quadratic in our previous videos. We said a quadratic equation is of the form ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Okay, so an example of such an equation will be assuming the coefficient of x squared, assuming a is equal to 1. So we say x squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. And let's give us an example. X squared plus 4x minus 5 equals to 0. Good. Now, if we are to solve this, we could use the simple factorization by looking at it. It's okay, with two values can you multiply to give you minus 5 and then add to give you 4? And obviously you have minus 1 and you have minus 1 and 5 automatically, because you can look at it and get the answer. But we are going to use completing the square method to solve this in this case. Okay, now when you have an expression of this form, say x squared, sorry, you have x plus k squared. When we expand it, what do we get? We get x plus k, x plus k. Good. Now x will multiply x will multiply k. Now this k will multiply that, and also multiply this one. So we get what? X squared, x times x squared, plus k times x, kx, plus another kx, because the first one was xk, and this time is this second one is kx, and then k times k, so you have k squared. Finally, we have x squared plus kx, you have 2kx plus k squared. Now, when we look at this section, yeah, we can see it's identical to this part here, right? So, what can we do? What can we do about it? We can simply say x squared plus 2kx equals to this, which is x squared plus 4x. Now, we have x squared minus x squared. We simply brought this x here, plus 2kx equals 4. Now we get 0 plus 2kx, sorry, I forgot the x, equals to 4x. Now this x cancels this. We end up having 2k equals 4. Finally, we get rid of this 2 here simply by dividing both sides by 2, right? So you divide here by 2, you divide here by 2, you get k. This cancels that. You get k is equal to 4 over 2, which is equal to 2. So we know now that k is 2. And what did we do? We divided the k over 2 is simply dividing the coefficient of what? B by 2. Yeah, because of this 2k. So 2k is equal to the coefficient, 2k is equal to the coefficient of that. We divided both sides by 2. Now we know that k is equal to 2. So let's put the k, this k2, back into this equation and see what we get. All right. Now I'm going to use a different color. Okay, so we know that we are putting it back. So now we have, what do we have this. If we put it back into the equation, we have x plus, now we say that k is equal to 2 squared, right? When we expand, we get what? If we look at this, we get what? X squared plus 2kx, that will be what? 2 times 2, because we said k is 2, x plus k squared, which is 2 squared. So we have x squared plus 4x plus 4, which is the same, almost the same as what we have here. So we want to take this one out, and we end up having what? X plus 2 squared. Sorry, go back. Minus 4. We simply brought this 4 here to, this 4 here to the other side. So when it's plus, when we move in it, we get minus. So x plus 2 all squared minus 4 is equal to x squared plus 4x, right? So now we know that this x squared plus 4x is this expression here. Yeah, is this expression here. I'm using a different color. Is this expression here, right? What do we do? Now we can put this back into our original equation, and we get what? Okay, into our original equation, and we get x, sorry, we get x plus 2 squared minus 4. Yeah, that is this expression. Then our final one, which is this 5, minus 5 equals to 0. So we have x plus 2 all squared minus 9 equals to 0. Now we can move this 9 to the uh, opposite end, and we get x plus 2 squared equals to 9. Now, how do we get rid of this square? Is by taking the square root of both sides. Now we have x plus 2 equal to plus or minus 3, because the square root of 9 is can either be positive or negative. So we have plus or minus 3. Now x is equal to, we move the 2 to the other side of the equal sign, we get minus 2 plus or minus 3. So if 3 is negative, we get minus 2 minus 3. And if x is positive, we get minus 2 plus 3. And this is equal to minus 5, and this is equal to 1, which was our what we'll find if we are supposed to simply look at the equation by factorizing. Yes. So basically, that's it. That's how you use completing the square. Don't forget that you have to divide by the coefficient of b by 2, and we showed it because we said 2kx is equal to 4x, and to find the k, you have to divide the coefficient of b, which is in our case is 4, by 2, and then you get 2 comes out, and then you put it back into the equation, and you have your final answer. Okay, in our next video, we will use it to we use this completing the square method to derive the quadratic equation formula. So, for what we call the quadratic formula. So, yeah, see you in our next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.